friends, what's going on? And welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. And welcome back to Chelsea news of sorts. Today we're going to be talking about Chelsea's chief director, Marina Granovskaia, how she could potentially be staying at Chelsea, and what she is like as a lady, as a director, as a whatever she is. We shall be citing an article from Daniel Taylor of The Athletic. I'll link it down in the comment section below for your consideration. It's behind a paywall, so I won't be reading all of it, but it's seemingly a very good source of information. So without further ado, without rambling more, let's get into the article. Marina Granovskaia, Abramovich's trusted ally who operates in the shadows. Ooh, already it's mysterious. Quote, "I've been blown away, to be honest. She was amazing. Incredibly warm, personable, and straight as an arrow, but she's a silent assassin. You sit down, she makes you feel as though you are winning and that you are loved, but she is draining your blood without you realizing." Oh my god. Vampiric Marina Granovskaia. She's draining your blood without you realizing. That is gnarly, man. One of the Premier League's leading executives is explaining what it's like to do business with the woman who runs Chelsea on a day-to-day basis. Her name is Marina Granovskaia, and if it is not a name you immediately recognize, that is precisely because she is chosen for it to be that way. Granovskaia never wanted publicity. She's lived in London for so long it is said that there's barely any trace of Russian in her accent, though it's difficult to know for certain because in all her time at Stamford Bridge, she has never given a single interview. Granovskaia was brought in by Roman Abramovich. They are trusted allies, and like Chelsea's owner, she operates by a policy of omerta. I don't know what omerta means, but I guess it's like behind the scenes, unknown, anonymous. I'm just going to be honest. When I don't know what a word means, I'm just going to tell you. Let's read on. All that can really be said for certain is that Granovskaia has developed a formidable reputation throughout the football industry, and if she is to follow Abramovich out of Chelsea, as many people assume, it will not be straightforward to replace her. Hello there, mate. Just a quick reminder to please do drop a like on this video, and why not consider subscribing if you're new to the content. Daily videos, of course. Cheers, mate. Granovskaia has been in charge at Chelsea for almost a decade, quietly out of the spotlight, and was honoured last December at the annual Golden Boy Awards put on Italy's Tuttosport newspaper. She was named Best Club Director in European football and brought the trophy back to her upstairs office behind the fingerprint recognition security of Chelsea's training ground. Okay, I'm loving this article so far. She's a silent assassin that drains your blood, that's taken her trophy behind her fingerprint scanner security enclosed office. It's like a friggin' Marvel film. She is also popular enough with Thomas Tuchel that when he invited his staff for dinner recently to mark his first anniversary at Chelsea manager, he asked her to join them. Yeah, basically Thomas Tuchel loves Marina Granovskaia. Recently he's been speaking about enjoying a really good working relationship with her, and I think like many people, I would like her to stay because of, you know, the smooth transition to new ownership, but also to keep Thomas Tuchel happy. Surely that's paramount. Let's read on. One problem. David Redfern, a magician who has performed his tricks in the executive suites on Stamford Bridge for more than 20 years, was also invited to the celebration at the Grappelli restaurant in Cobham, Surrey, near to Chelsea's training ground, and put a photograph on his Instagram account showing himself with Tuchel and Granovskaia. Chelsea got to hear about it, and abracadabra, the picture mysteriously vanished. Yeah. He's dead now. Joking. He's fine, probably. Granovskaia, you quickly learn, prefers to operate away from the public. There are stories about her being very particular about the images Chelsea put out. She does not like to be filmed, even by Chelsea's in-house television channel, and any journalist who wants to tell her story tends to find the club are sensitive in the extreme about how she is portrayed. She's definitely a vampire, but a helpful one. Remember how much money she got for Costa Morata and Eden Hazard. She's a genius. She's a negotiating genius, but she's got to be a vampire. Let's read on. None of this really would have mattered greatly to Chelsea's fans until everything caught up with Abramovich recently and his alleged links to Putin, Russia's president. Links he has always vehemently denied, led to sanctions from the UK government, make it unlikely he will be seen at Stamford Bridge ever again. We all know this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's read on. Now though, it will be easy to understand if Chelsea's takeover, which there's 4 bids on the table, leads to Granovskaia severing her own ties, given how closely she is aligned to Abramovich. Are these her final weeks at Stamford Bridge? Is English football about to say goodbye to the Russian-Canadian executive who was once described by the Times as, quote, the most powerful woman in football? That would be rather sad. There are rumours within the industry that Marina might stay, but I can't see that, says one Premier League executive. I'm not sure how she can. If you were buying Chelsea right now, I don't think you could manufacture it in a way where she stayed, but she might not want to stay anyway. You would think she would want to go when the sale goes through, so there's a clean break. John Smith, an agent who has done prominent business with Chelsea over many years, knows from first-hand experience how ultra-sensitive Abramovich's closest aides can be if anybody ever says something about him they do not like, intentional or not. Yeah, remember Marina Granovskaia has known Roman Abramovich for many years. Before he bought Chelsea, she was like his PA or something in another company, and he brought her in. She didn't know anything about football. He just knew she was an absolutely brilliant mind and that she could apply it to any business, and indeed she did. Fast forward 20 years later, she's winning the Best European Club Director award. Context. Smith was representing Claudio Ranieri when Chelsea sacked the Italian as manager in 2004. After 2 days of haggling over the severance payment, the two sides were still some way apart, about $250,000, when Smith rang the Chelsea director Eugene Tenenbaum and made the mistake of pointing out, in an attempt of humour, it was only a few tanks of petrol for Roman's yacht, end quote. Tenenbaum is part of Abramovich's inner circle and formerly the head of corporate finance at Sibneft, the oil company that made Abramovich one of the richest men in the world. Tenenbaum was also in the news recently when Reuters reported that Abramovich had transferred one of the companies in which he was controlling a stake to him on February the 24th. Apparently he transferred this on the day Russia invaded Ukraine. Quote, he, Tenenbaum, went berserk, Smith writes in his book. It hit a nerve. I don't know why, probably because it was true. It was only a whimsical comment, but I had to withdraw it. Smith's comment went down so badly indeed that he and Ranieri decided it would be better for the Italian to deal with Tenenbaum directly. Ranieri decided in the end he would rather draw a line under the whole affair. He never got that extra $250,000, and Smith has spent the following years wondering whether, quote, the same exit payment formula, end quote, is applied every time a Chelsea manager loses his job. More likely, it was just a sign of a bond that exists between Abramovich and the people he trusts, especially those who have shown they will never let him down. Granovskaia has been inside that circle for 25 years. Her association with Abramovich goes back to when she graduated from Moscow State University and became his personal assistant at Sibneft. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's where it all began. That was also her first role when she followed Abramovich to London after he had started to reinvent Chelsea and change the landscape of English football. Granovskaia would book Abramovich's restaurants, arrange his diary, sometimes even do his shopping if he had to buy a birthday present for someone. Since then though, however, Granovskaia had such a remarkable ascent, it tends to be forgotten that she was completely new to football when Abramovich started involving her in the running of the business. A great example I know is Marina Granovskaia. Leonid Slutsky, the head coach of Rubin Kazan, told The Athletic last year. She received a special award, but some years ago Marina didn't know football. I'm sure she didn't know about how many players played in the team, but now she's worked together with Mr. Abramovich and is the best director in Europe. This is absolutely deserved because she is such a top professional. It's very simple. If you start to work with Mr. Abramovich, then you are automatically better than when you were before. Right, this article goes on for quite a while. I might have read half of it. Feel free to go check it out in the description. The article will be linked down there. So let's talk about Marina Granovskaia. I think it's imperative that the 4 bidders try and keep her at the club. club, and despite what some were saying in that article, speculating that they want a clean slate, a clean break off Abramovich, but the truth is, what you've got is certainly Thomas Tuchel, one of the best managers in the world, saying he likes the working relationship, he enjoys the working relationship with Marina Granovskaia. So that's one. Two is you want to continue the steady flow workings of the club. You don't want to disrupt stuff when you come in, like, let's say mid-season, while the season's still going, and you know, with all this like controversy and complications, you want to keep as much continuity as you can so that the running of the club can stay stable. That's another reason. And three, she's just good at her job. She's one of the best negotiators the game has ever seen. There's a reason why she won Best Director. I said earlier the aforementioned players and examples. She gets a lot of money for every single player. She hates paying over the odds, even though, you know, Chelsea have done that on a couple of occasions, but she certainly maximizes returns on all sales. The fact how we got like 55 million plus for Morata, I think we made a profit on Morata, deep that, after his time at Chelsea. We made a profit on Morata. Diego Costa, we made like not quite double our money, but a lot of money on Diego Costa, considering he didn't have that much left on his deal, and considering he said he only wants to go to Atletico, and Conte said he's never going to play for Chelsea again. That means he's the buying club, and there's only one buying club, is Atletico. They're like, okay, well, he's not playing for you anymore, and he says he'll only sign for us, so we'll give you like 10 or 20 million. We got best part of 60 million for Diego Costa. It's mind-blowing. Eden Hazard speaks for himself. 12 months left on his deal. 12 months. And we got a deal that goes up to 160 million euros, or you know, we definitely already got banked 120 million after the original amount, and him immediately winning La Liga of Real Madrid. Not doing much, of course, but they had to pay a clause for that or something. Incredible amounts of money. She makes the club so much money with transfer fees. Now, granted, that's been largely part of Chelsea's revenue structure, make money through sales. That will have to change. Chelsea will have to look to make revenue in other ways with new owners, and that will include, of course, a new stadium build. But she's so important. She's so important for the transfers because she's a great director, and to keep Thomas Tuchel happy. For me, that's one of the biggest like mandatory things there is. What do you think though? The silent assassin that works in the dark and drains your blood. Certainly a very interesting story that we've been through together. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, feelings and opinions on Marina Granovskaia. So please do drop them down below and let's start the conversation. Thank you to those of you who have liked and subscribed, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.